we would like to welcome Owen Adams on the show. Owen Adams is a pianist, composer, and music producer. He's been studying piano since the age of 4 and won 33 first-place classical piano competitions in his senior year of high school and studied at the University of Maryland. Owen most recently has added business owner to his bio. He opened his own music studio in Bowie, Maryland, where he will be teaching piano lessons, group lessons, music theory, music history, recording studio sessions, recording sessions, mastering college auditions, and DVDs. Thank you for joining us. So can you give us more insight on your background regarding music?
I always had, synthesizers and workstations and all kinds of different keyboards and pianos to mess around with. So I just kind of started experimenting, and then my dad turned me on to some really great jazz music and some progressive rock, and then, I just took that and went with it.
Oh, wow. And why were you drawn to the piano?
The piano, it was kind of drawn to me.
Do you feel that classical music has shaped your taste in music?
It's kind of shaped the way I compose, because classical music relies very heavily on structure and, orchestration and themes, variations, all that kind of stuff.
What type of music are you drawn to the most?
Progressive rock, progressive jazz, I already mentioned Zappa, but people like Weather Report, Spyro Gyra, and more recently, definitely a lot of like urban music, R&B, hip hop, and rap. Most of all, I would say it kind of comes down to progressive music and kind of more electronic music.
Okay, okay. And how has that genre affected progressive music? How's that genre affected music you play now?
It opened my mind to possibilities and sort of the ability to go through a song without necessarily resolving certain things, leaving certain parts open-ended, multimeters and time signatures and things that kind of, trip the listener up a little bit. And then, then I bring in the electronic influence, which kind of gives you a steady beat and a kind of driving kind of rhythm. So I like to mix it up with those kind of extremes.
Okay, and do you express yourself through music?
Oh, absolutely. Everything I do or everything I write rather, is usually a reflection on something that I've experienced, a person that I've met, an opinion that I have on the world, those kind of things. So for me, music is kind of a reaction to I guess the zeitgeist, the way the world is. So I kind of try and summarize that and put it into some kind of cohesive musical thought.
When did you start writing music?
My dad had the old Yamaha W7 workstation where you had 5,000 different instruments, and you could just hit record and layer 16 tracks. I mean, it was only 16 tracks, but it gave me a lot of freedom to experiment and try different drum patterns, try different combinations of instruments.
Recently, you were honored at an event held at the Bowie Performing Arts Center. So congratulations on that. And in the Bowie Blade News, they covered that event, and you said in that article that honoree Selma Gottlieb and Gerald Mueller influenced your growth in music. So how did they do that for you?
Definitely. Well, Selma definitely turned me on to my latest piano teacher, Janine Case. So without Selma, I would have never, moved on to getting into competitions and college auditions and things like that. So she kind of expanded my piano career a lot. Then, Gerald Mueller, so I did a Mall in the Night Visitors with the Maryland Opera Society. I forget how young I was, it must have been 13 or something. But I had him to kind of shadow over me and help me with that, rehearsing a whole opera from front to back.
Well, in that same article, you said it all starts with vision, and you raise awareness in that community in hopes that eventually we have more places and opportunities for future artists. So what vision do you have for the community and future artists?
I kind of have a vision for a studio in a local area where it's not as much, well, not only about, working with artists and helping them realize their dreams and helping them create their music and up the quality and the distribution and kind of get their music out there, but it's also about the youth. I'm a very strong proponent of youth education in the arts. And with the new advanced technology that we have nowadays, I think that the young kids really have the greatest opportunity at this point to harness that technology and use it as a creative outlet, which has infinite benefits to them.
Do you feel that early intervention using music that's preventative from getting kids into trouble, any kind of trouble, or having them go, I guess, down the wrong path? Do you think that music help prevent that?
I don't know if it prevents it, but it definitely helps, though.
Okay.
It definitely helps. I mean, if you don't have a way to express yourself, you have no choice in the matter. But if you have that as an option, you can use that as an outlet to express yourself, and you can kind of have that dialogue with your instrument and with your craft.
Well, you were also featured in the Gazette Star, and it's about your new studio, Dolly Dog Productions. How does it feel knowing that you are receiving this type of recognition so early on in your career?
Well, it's pretty good.
So why should kids study music?
Why shouldn't kids study? No, I think that kids should study music obviously for all the things we've discussed so far, but also it gives them a sense of individuality.
Okay.
So it helps them stand apart from the crowd, which, when you get to high school and eventually off to college, you need to stand out from the crowd. You need to have something that separates you from the masses.
What do you get out of helping children in the music industry?
What do I get out of it? I just feel like I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing, what I'm supposed to be doing. I could easily just go off into music and say, it's all about me and it's all about making money and all that kind of hustler mentality, or whatever you want to call it, that is kind of prevalent in popular music. But to me, it's more about giving back. It's about sharing and enriching others, uplifting the youth. And if I'm not doing that, then I feel like there's something missing. What
do you feel that you can contribute to the Maryland music scene?
Well, we can build a Maryland music scene. I don't know that there's much of one that really exists. I mean, DC's got the whole go-go thing going on. I kind of am sensing sort of a country western kind of thing happening in Annapolis. So it's so fragmented and separated. I would like to work on bringing people together from different genres, from different ages, from all walks of life, and I think music is that universal language that can achieve that.
Okay, well, my last question for you is, what original piece will you be playing for us today?